network with other people and meet them in the music industry. Try and keep your cameras on so that people can start to get to know your face in the music industry, and keep your mics off, of course, so that we can let everyone speak in the panel. And yeah, we put this event together just so that you guys can learn how to market yourselves to other global places. So yeah, Jordan, I'm gonna pass it to you so that you can get into the interview.
All right. Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, if it's, or good evening, policy. My name is Jordan, and I am an events coordinator and music journalist at Finesse Media, and I am one of your co-hosts today. I'm very excited to be hosting this event because I love music and talking about music. And like Tammy said, this is our Global Music Connection Showcase event, and we'll be talking with two panelists, Franca Park and Sunjay Kohli, about how independent artists can break out into the international music market. And so with that, we're going to go ahead and get our interview started. Great. I see Sunjay, and then Frank is coming up. There she is. And I like to have our panelists introduce themselves, because who knows you better than you know yourself, right? So I'm going to let Franca introduce herself. So can you tell me about who you are and what you do in the music industry?
Yes. Hi, everyone. I'm Franca. I'm from Virginia, but I live in LA. I currently work in the international marketing department at BMG. And yeah, I've been there for almost 2 years now.
Awesome. So glad to have you here, Franca. Sunjay, what about you?
Hi, everyone. I'm Sunjay. I'm from the UK, Birmingham, which is the second city, if you don't know. I also work at BMG in the UK as an account manager, and I look after the relationship with the DSPs.
Awesome stuff, guys. And just to reiterate, it'll be a great idea to have a pen and paper or your notes app open on your phone to take some notes, because I guarantee our panelists will be dropping some great gems today. So you'll want to remember it. And with that, our first question is, so at FNS Media, we are mainly focused on bringing attention to independent artists. So Sunjay and Franca, what are some ways that independent artists can catch the attention of the global music market or different markets within the music industry? And I'll start with Sunjay. What do you think?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, really broad question, but I think a lot of it starts at home, I guess, and sort of where you come from, and building that sort of local support will always launch and elevate you to then potentially make connections outside of that hometown or home city that you're from. So yeah, I guess in real short terms, it would be to start at home, I think.
Yeah. What about you, Franca?
This might sound like a cringe answer, but honestly, like TikTok, because I feel like at this point in time, it's not just a social platform anymore. It's really like a universal language. And theoretically, in an online world, it doesn't really matter where you're from. So an example of this is we actually signed a South African artist called Will Lindley. Little plug, check him out. He just released his first single last week. He had just been kind of like playing on TikTok and teased his song, and from that he was able to really build a large following, and it caught our attention. And I think sometimes artists are hesitant to join the platform because maybe they think it's corny or like intimidating, but really just like don't be afraid to put your content out there. There's like, I think it's just such an easy way to give a global reach, like Sunjay was saying, from your home.
Definitely. And I've been hearing that I think user-generated content is what's like really important right now. So like having the front camera facing you and just talking to it, that's what a lot of people like. Yeah. So Franca, so how do you, as in your position as an international marketer, create campaigns around artists to expand their reach beyond their home region?
So how it works at BMG is we have 14 offices around the globe. So when an album campaign starts, I send music to all of our teams to collect feedback and budget needs and stuff like that. We really trust our partners to give us honest feedback. just because they know their market best. You know, they actually live there and they're from there. But I feel like the two biggest kind of factors that are the foundation to beginning a campaign is music and story building. And music might sound like an obvious one, but I say that just because different genres work differently in certain markets. For example, in Canada, there's not much reggae playlists or media in that space, so it's difficult there for that genre. So it's doing a lot of research and knowing which key markets to hone in on according to you and your music. And then secondly, I say story building, because audiences need to know who you are in order to connect with you. And of course, that's a similar sentiment from just breaking into your home market. But here you're taking into account a potential language barrier or culture barrier. Like Australia, for example, they're very heavily domestic music focused. So it's a very competitive market for international acts. But if someone had a relationship with an Australian artist and maybe they did a collab, then a story could start to be built from there. So for us, it's really important to make sure we're tailoring campaigns for each artist and each market.
Definitely. I will stand by the story building aspect. We really want to know artists, like not like in a nosy way, but we want to know artist stories, you know? Yeah. What about you, Sunjay? How do you, in your multiple positions as an account manager and editor and everything that you do, create campaigns for artists to expand their reach?
Yeah, I mean, to expand on what Franca said as well, I think the storytelling element, not only personally, but when you come to actually what your plan is with your rollout of your music and how many singles you're going to do, and it's leading up to a project or leading up to a visual piece of work that you're working on, I think that's just as important. And when it comes to dealing with the partners, the streaming partners, so I specialize in working with YouTube directly, YouTube Music, but the Spotify's, the Amazons, etc. What they really want, as well as the story that Franca mentioned, is also your plan and like what the structure is and how you're going to tell that story and in what method, because that's what they'll buy into. And then that's when you start to potentially garner support internationally, even as a UK artist or a US artist or wherever you're from. If you have that sort of structure and that layout, it will really be beneficial to the potential reach that you could get.
Most definitely. So my next question for y'all is, can you give me an example of a project or a tactic of a current artist or even an artist that you've worked with that has crossed into or helped them cross into other markets to gain a broader audience? Like, how did they do that in their campaigns? We can start with you, Sunjay.
I think the biggest one that I think both me and Franca worked on is KSI. So KSI is he's actually technically signed to the US in BMG. Obviously, he's a UK artist, and it's a campaign we both worked on. He essentially massive YouTube following, sort of split kind of evenly between the US and the UK. And yeah, his global reach, his global footprint is phenomenal, even in other territories like in Asia and India, East Asia as well. Yeah, so that campaign and that artist is definitely one that would fit that bracket.
Yeah, can you explain a little bit, like if you can, some details about his campaign?
Yeah, so I mean, I believe so. I joined a year after Franca actually, so I've done just over a year at BMG. So I worked on the second album, the most recent one, which was called All Over the Place, and I guess it links into the storytelling element, because as a person, KSI, in a way, his career is all over the place in the sense that he does everything from YouTube to music to boxing to sport and etc. So I think the whole concept of the album was to encapsulate that, and also, yeah, just build on that story, and then it tells in the sort of music as well. Like it's transcending genres. It's not just rap. There's some pop in there. There's just everything in there. And yeah, I guess the campaign itself, I think, from my perspective, working on YouTube, it was really about harnessing that audience. yeah, we sort of had to find a balance, I guess, between the two markets, and that came down to even little pedantic things like what time do we drop the video, make sure there's subtitles for different markets on each video, because one little trick that might be actually helpful is, I've learned from what I've seen over the last year, is a video that is watched with subtitles is normally engaged with a lot more, and therefore it has a longer average view time, which will then sort of positively impact the algorithm for your channel. So it's little simple things like that. But when you're working with an artist on a massive scale who's getting 1 million views, in less than an hour or whatnot, it makes a massive difference. So yeah, but I'm sure Franca can share some gems as well on this campaign.
Yeah, Franca, what do you think?
Yeah, totally. I think like KSI also just has like an insane already in place fan base all over the world from his YouTube. So I think when we are activating in other markets, we're trying to harness that audience that was already in place and kind of move them from that YouTube space and get him to listening to his music. So yeah, a lot of like digital campaigns. And I was going to bring up the example of Spencer Sutherland, which is a US artist that I worked on. Because I think with independent artists, a lot of the struggle sometimes is limited budget. So Spencer, for example, his #2 streaming market was randomly South Korea after the US. So we wanted to take advantage of that, try to grow the numbers. And in an ideal world where budget isn't an issue, obviously we would, maybe fly him out, hire a publicist there. But we had to kind of think outside of those bigger spends. So like Sunjay was saying, we like subtitled his music videos in Korean so the language is more accessible. We had him record liners for DSPs. We had him just say like, hi to my Korean fans, and you speak a little bit of Korean. And honestly, it sounds so small, but that can make a huge difference because it makes local fans really excited and makes them feel special, and it makes them want to support you even more. We also had this huge Korean dance studio do a choreography video to one of his songs, and we put that on YouTube to kind of gain more exposure to Korean fans as well. So I think, yeah, in an ideal world, we would have an artist eventually visit the market that we're trying to market them in. But in the world of COVID and like other factors that might not allow you to do so, I would say digital activations are really key.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Just to follow up with that, I know you talked about adding subtitles to your videos to like possibly target an international audience. But when you're writing these campaigns, do you have a specific audience in mind that is international, or do you just like shoot aimlessly? Do you have like a specific region you're aiming for? Either of y'all can.
Yeah, I think it's important to kind of stay up to date on the back end of, social media. And we have a lot of tools we use to kind of track like streams, their streaming history, or there's like websites that break down your audience on Instagram or YouTube, like the top territories or top languages that we speak. So they speak. So we rely on those tools to kind of hone in on which of the key markets we should focus on.
What are some of the tools that you use to do that?
I use Chartmetric. There's a website called Sound Charts. And then obviously as an artist, as you own your own socials, you can put on like the insights and analytics tools, go in the back end of your YouTube and stuff like that.
Yeah. Sanjay, do you have anything to add to that?
I think, yeah, I spend most of my time on YouTube analytics as well. I think it's over the last few years, like obviously YouTube has developed heavily as a streaming platform for music, but that the development in their analytics has been really key as well. They've added some really cool features. And I think one of the most important ones, which we mentioned earlier, was being able to toggle between official content that you're releasing and UGC content, where other people using your music are creating content, creating videos using your music. And that's been also really key as well, because that sort of, when you get to a certain level, you're able to understand how important other people's content using your music is for your music to reach other territories and other people, right? And obviously that it's the whole using sounds on TikTok concept, but it's just as prominent, if not more, on YouTube. So yeah, that's been a key thing we've looked at as well.
Yeah, definitely. And I just learned that YouTube is like, I think the biggest music distributor right now. So it's pretty wild. But I want to backtrack just a little bit and get to know you guys a little bit more. I'm actually interested in working for artists to connect them to a global audience. And I want to know what sparked your interest in being in this field. Like, what made you want to like reach the masses across your home region, beyond your home region?
I guess for me, like my experience was predominantly in the digital space. But I don't know, like I love traveling. I've been to like Japan, Korea, Costa Rica, Indonesia, and like I just love learning about different cultures and connecting with people of different cultures. And I think when I first saw this role at BMG, I was really intrigued because it was kind of combining my passion for, music marketing and also like, yeah, learning about different cultures and stuff.
Yes, definitely. What about you, Sunjay? Did you have an interest in other cultures, learning different languages too?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, always done that. I did Spanish at uni as well, so I've always had an interest in travel. For my placement year at university, I went to Vietnam for a year, and I lived out there, and it was the most incredible year for me. I don't know if any of you guys have been to Southeast Asia, but it's just amazing. And when I was out there, I started creating content and doing artist interviews and stuff with sort of local talent. So, and that sort of sparked my interest. And then now with my role at Nation of Billions, we sort of really do sort of try and get and secure sort of international artists for interviews and features and that sort of thing. So it's always been a key moment for me as well.
Oh yeah, you went to Vietnam. Is there like a big music scene there in Vietnam?
It's growing. It's definitely growing. I recently joined a group called Gig Life Pro, which actually, if anyone's interested in sort of APAC markets, it's worth taking a look at. It's like a small network of people who work out in Asian music industry. And it's led by a woman called Priya, who's actually the VP of the Orchard out there. So yeah, it's an incredible sort of network. But yeah, I think it's definitely growing. I think obviously it's in its elementary stages compared to sort of the Western world. But that's the exciting thing, right? Because look at their population, it's crazy. There's so much untapped potential out there. So yeah, that's definitely something, sort of a market to look at. But it is, I guess, I'm sure there's people that are more versed on it than me, but it's crazy as well because it seems like each territory in that region is completely different, whereas Europe is quite similar in the fact that Spotify hold the majority of market share, then Apple, and the same in the US. But over there's all these different sort of streaming platforms, which I'm yet to get my head around.
Definitely. So what has been your top 5 projects you've worked on for marketing or creating campaigns for someone else? Yeah, either y'all can go.
I'll let Franca go first.
Okay. I guess one of my favorite ones that I'm working right now is the K-pop group Monsta X.
I love
Their album comes out next month. It's super exciting. This is the first K-pop group that I worked with, and I'm Korean, so I don't know, it's just very interesting to kind of see that whole world. It's very, very different. And they're just such great guys, so easy to work with, but they have huge fan base all over the world. Their fans are crazy. So it's been a lot of fun working in that space, and I'm able to kind of see like cultural nuances and stuff from me being Korean. So that has been a really fun one.
Definitely. Is there anything specific that you've done for them so far?
Honestly, we're just like scrambling for album release right now. A lot of setting up interviews too, because so many media all over the world want to speak with them. So
Are they going to do any interviews in the US?
Yeah, I think they've done a few. They have a separate like US publicist, but they've definitely done a few.
Cool. Awesome. I'm looking forward to it. What about you, Sanjay?
Yeah, one of the most recent projects I worked on at BMG was a producer called Swindle. He's sort of iconic within the UK rap, hip hop, R&B scene. He's been around for quite a few years, but yeah, it was an incredible project. It was just a 9-track project, but he sort of got every sort of UK rap artist that you could think of, and R&B artists as well, from Joy Crooks to Akala to Getz. But the project was actually a result of they made it last year and earlier this year, but it was a result of everything that was going on over the last couple of years. So from the lockdown to the increase in the sort of the BLM activity and all the sort of injustices that took place. And yeah, I'll share a link to the album. It's incredible. But yeah, so I've really enjoyed working on that campaign. We've done some really cool stuff with Swindle.
Definitely, definitely. I was just talking about Joy Crooks the other day, actually. That's so weird. And UK rap goes really hard, not gonna lie. Like, wow.
I thought Americans found it hard to digest. Is that not true? Is that overgeneralization?
you know, I'm not gonna speak for everyone, but it did take me a minute to like calm down a little bit. But yeah, it was real hard, dude. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I can see the chat. It's so hard. But back to Franca, you were talking about some cultural nuances with Monster X. So how did you explore those nuances and navigate the differences in the campaigns, like from, you could say, South Korea and the US campaigns?
I think you have to, just in general, when dealing with other markets, be sensitive to certain cultural differences. This is like unrelated, but like, for example, like smoking weed or whatever is like a huge no-no in Korea. So other examples like that. So making sure when, foreign journalists are asking questions, that we kind of monitor them so they don't go like off kilter and ask something that might be seen as inappropriate. And the band, some of them are pretty good at speaking English, but there is still a language barrier. So when we're asking them to film something, for example, we really have to be specific in what we need and want, but they have a separate team in Korea as well. So it's really just a collaborative effort.
Yeah. I definitely didn't even think about that until I started like delving into the music industry, about how they have to navigate, or specifically like South Korean artists have to navigate the different interviews over here than in South Korea. That was a really big thing that I found out recently. And Sunjay, my question for you is, how do you see the global music market expanding post-COVID? And what does it look like right now, actually? So tell us the difference.
I think it's shrinking in the sense that you can touch anywhere now, which is incredible, really. You can reach any market at any time, and I guess that's a beautiful thing. But then also at the same time, I guess it's becoming more and more condensed each day, and there's more and more content coming out, and there's so much more noise to break through. But that's where I'm still a strong believer. Yes, like digital's the way forward, but you can't beat those sort of personal connections that you can develop just by going to visit a city, if you can, once touch wood, COVID's over and whatnot. I think that's how you do it. And there's been instances of that from my hometown city in Birmingham, where there's been independent artists. There's one in particular that comes into mind. She goes by the name Call Me Unique, and she's like an acoustic singer, sort of folk singer. And for some really strange reason, she's got a really big following in Hungary, and it's just so random. It just sort of popped up on her Instagram and on her Spotify. And then she's been going there for the last 3 or 4 years now, and she plays like sold out shows, maybe like 30, 40, 50 people. But at that level, that's impressive, right? To get that many people into a room. So yeah, it's just strange. It's really strange. But I think the world is becoming smaller in a sense, and it's probably even more easier to capitalize on it now than it used to be, right? So yeah.
Yeah, like, oh, sorry, you want to go, Franca?
I was just going to add one more thing that I feel like COVID really affected is the making like physical product for albums and stuff. And that's really important in certain markets like Germany and Japan, where physical product is actually like it transcends digital streaming. So we're seeing huge delays on production, and that can really affect sales sometimes because in those markets, we really rely on those physical sales.
Definitely. It also makes me think about like K-pop and other artists. Like there's a big thing about photo cards, and now they're turning into digital photo cards, but it's not the same, But Sunjay, going off of what you said. Oh, no, actually, I forgot my question. So my last question for you guys is, do you have any advice for aspiring industry professionals who are looking to be in your shoes? So they're wanting to help artists to expand their reach beyond their home region, beyond cultures, borders, languages?
I would say, honestly, just take your time to research because every market has their own little quirks. And I honestly learn something new every day in my role. So a few resources that I recommend are IFPI's website. They release a global music market report yearly and has a lot of great information on each of the music markets. Music Alley also, they have a tab where a bunch of articles are broken down by territory. So that's super helpful as well. And yeah, if it's accessible to you, like travel, honestly, I feel like once you experience those different cultures and the people there firsthand, it can honestly help you understand the music market better too.
Definitely. I stand by the traveling one, and not just because I love traveling. Yeah. What about you, Sanjay?
Yeah, I would say everything that Frank said, but also just take in music from different territories as well. Go to Spotify and hit up top 50 Thailand, or wherever, Switzerland or whatever it is. Just go and listen to those lists. There'll be the global superstars in there, but then in between all those tracks, there'll be some local acts that you wouldn't have heard of, and it's worth going to listen to them, right? And just with an open mind. So I think good music can transcend anything. So yeah.
I love saying that music is a universal language, which it's 100% true. And I actually did that too. I looked up randomly, I think it was top 50 India last week, and I was like, oh my gosh, I've never heard anything like this. That's so cool. Yeah, I recommend everyone to top 50 and put a country on Spotify. It'll help you expand your musical ears. So yeah. So that will conclude our panelist interview. I want to thank Sunjay and Franca so much for being here again. And now we'll move into our audience Q&A. So if anyone has a question, you can use the reaction button and press the raise hand feature on there, and I will call on you to ask your question. I see Alonzo. Hey, Alonzo, what's your question? Oh, you're on mute. There you go.
Cool. Can you hear me? Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Cool. I kind of let I actually answered the question. I put the question in the chat, but I'll just announce it. So what's the most important thing to know about when working with artists in the UK and or Korea in both terms of usage in video games, movie soundtracks, and and also with that in mind, what's the culture been since the pandemic with having how do artists make money with the fact that touring was sort of taken away for a minute? How do you handle that, especially with things have sort of opened up, I would assume in those locations compared to versus in the US. So how do you bridge what the content that was being released and enjoyed and making the deals per se then versus doing it now in the last 2-3 years since this whole thing started? It feels weird like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's been a huge struggle with the pandemic because that's how artists make their money is touring. So we really had to be creative in the digital space, you know, doing like paid live streams or selling exclusive merch, stuff like that. And yeah, I think that's why I think even after the pandemic, we're going to see digital activations really be important. That's why I keep plugging TikTok. And in the first part of your question, talking about like the video game space and stuff, we have a great sync team at BMG who is always pitching music to things like that, like movies, commercials, etc. And that can be a really good way to break in a certain market. Like the example I have is this band called The Fame. They were able to land a sync on a Jeep commercial in France, and that honestly broke them in France. They started getting radio plays, they got opportunities to do interviews at the biggest TV there. So syncs can definitely help you break into markets as well.
Yeah, and just to follow up on that, there's a massive sync culture in the UK as well. There's sort of certain key moments throughout the year. One of them is actually like the FIFA soundtrack, you know, the game FIFA. Like that's a massive thing in the UK. It probably is in other territories as well. But we've had some BMG artists secure placement on that. Actually, I think an artist called Lady Hawk from Australia. Actually, no, not Lady Hawk. Sorry, there's an artist called Chai from New Zealand, and she secured a placement on one of the FIFA soundtracks, and yeah, that made her do really well in the UK. Then we also have, like, I know Christmas is coming up, so we have like in the UK anyway, we have like it's the Waitrose, which is like a supermarket. It's like a massive deal. Like whatever song is synced on the Waitrose TV advert every year just shoots up the charts and whatnot, and it's like a massive whole thing that people like get excited about. So yeah, sync is a big thing as well. And then yeah, I guess also what Franca was saying about sort of beginning to monetize. I guess in a sense there's sort of been a shift from monetizing like rights and selling things on tour and stuff to monetizing your community directly, and that's where TikTok and YouTube and Twitch come in now, and that's why it's an exciting time. And there's literally a shift where you can now sit in your room and you can do a live stream, and if you've garnered that audience, you can live off that live stream, right, and that revenue that you generate. But again, obviously it's very sort of condensed, and there's a lot of people trying to do it, but it's possible.
Definitely. Did I answer?
Thank you so much. Yeah. Yep.
Awesome. Thank you for asking your question. I see Anthony Ramadan. What's your question?
Hi. So I heard earlier you talked about Koreans don't like smoking weed, or like, you know, that's frowned upon. So I was wondering, are there any other like cultural red flags that would be, you know, kind of something to look out for if I'm going to post like a picture or promote something in a video? You know, like what would be something that where we would lose audience members because of our content?
That's a good question. I think we should always just be extra careful, like when we're thinking of those standard bad things like drinking or smoking or like violence, things like that. Like, just, I think there's always a fine line. Yeah, I just think it's better to go the careful route than having that in there.
Yeah, I also think you should take into consideration tattoos as well if you're trying to get into the Korean market. Sunjay, did you have anything to add to that?
No, unfortunately, the UK sort of takes everything.
All right, I hope that answered your question, Anthony. Thank you for asking.
Thank you.
And I see William Brown. What's your question?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yes.
Hey, what's up, everybody? So my question is, what current global trends do you see happening, maybe in a smaller country, that are just gonna like go up? If you guys are seeing anything like that's unique or interesting, So for example, I went to Morocco and they played music in English, French, and Arabic. I thought that was super dope. It's like, what? And I went to like Rotterdam and they're playing Dutch house music, South African house music, and trap music, which I was like, whoa. Like, and then now I'm seeing like years later, I'm seeing like Black Coffee, like Transcend. I'm like, yo, like I heard that one night in the Netherlands. So I'm just wondering now, recently, what's up, Lane? Thanks for the invite. Recently, like, what are you guys seeing that you guys think are gonna be like the next big trends?
I feel like there are pockets of regions that favor certain genres. So like Netherlands pop is really big. Southeast Asia is also a huge pop market, especially Western pop. They love the Ed Sheerans, the Justin Biebers. In Japan, there's also a very niche jazz market as well. Trying to think what else. Yeah, I think knowing those little minutiae can help you, like, say you're an artist and you're in the rock scene, maybe marketing to Latin America because they love rock down there. So
Definitely. Sanjay, I saw you unmute yourself.
Yeah, and I think out of the UK, obviously we talked about earlier, but sort of rap and drill, particularly at the minute, is massive. But not just in the UK, but there is little pockets throughout like continental Europe as well. And you look at like France, like French drill is, I don't know if you've ever listened to it, but it's ridiculous. Like, I don't understand what they're saying, but it sounds crazy. Yeah. But I think also linking onto that question, I guess, yes, the music, but also it's worth looking at sort of type of content delivery as well. So I'll give you an example. So obviously I work heavily on YouTube, and we looked at a campaign that Little Nas X did, which is whatever you think of him, it was really interesting. So if you go on his YouTube channel, I don't remember which song it was, but he sort of released 5 or 6 different official music videos. And so he had this sort of the original one where the original track was playing, but then he also released sort of these YouTube trends that were going on throughout the year. So one of them was Little Nas X, whatever the name of the song is, and then it's in brackets, it's like, but it's playing next door and the sound is muffled. And I thought, what the hell is this? So I go and click on it. And it opened up this whole rabbit hole in YouTube where people sort of filter songs and they sort of add like different effects on it, and people actually listen to it that way. There's a whole bunch of them. There's like singing in the shower. It's like the original song, but then it's filtered. And this trend was like one of the trends that sort of YouTube highlighted in their yearly trend video earlier this year. So it's worth looking at that as well. If it's, because again, that isn't really territory specific. It's sort of content driven, and it can transcend whatever. So if you can, go and look at Little Nas X's channel, and it's worth exploring that.
Definitely. His trolling is worth exploring. Yes. I hope that answers your question, William. Thank you for asking. And we have time for one more question. I see Kingston. What's your question, Kingston?
Hello. I was just wondering about international syncing. That was interesting. Someone, apologized, had stated about someone blowing up because of I think a car commercial in France. How do we submit to for international sync opportunities, and what are the players, or who do you recommend? If I'm even formulating a good sentence here, my coffee is not working.
I mean, we have a separate sync team that deals with that, but I know for them, they are constantly pitching out to music supervisors. And if you don't know what a music supervisor is, they are kind of the people who deal with placing the music in like film, TV, and stuff like that. You could cold reach out to ad agencies, maybe. That could be an option. But yeah, making sure if you do pitch, that it's very curated. Make sure that you kind of describe what the music sounds like. Because I know when sync gets a brief, it'll be something like, hey, we're looking for a song that's really bouncy and pop and about like smiling and having fun. So when you're pitching, you want to make sure that your song actually has certain that kind of description. And also putting in your story a little bit about who you are can help as well.
Definitely.
Thank you.
Thank you for asking, Kingston. All right, and with that, we will close out our audience Q&A. So if everyone is still here and still having fun, can you unmute yourselves and give me a whoop whoop? Whoop whoop!
Oh yeah.
I want to thank Sunjay and Franca again. Thank you so much for being here and being a part of this event. We truly appreciate you guys' insight into this topic. And with that, I'll hand it over to Tammy for our showcase.
Cool. I'm so excited, y'all. So now that we didn't got all the information, we gotta show the performers that are gonna give us their songs. So we have a great lineup, and first off, we want to start out with Nehemiah. And before we get into your performance, I just want to ask you a few questions. So Nehemiah, where you at?
I'm right. You hear it? See?
Hi, how are
Hi.
you?
I'm good. I turned 27 today, so feeling good.
Yes. Oh my God. How can I forget about that? Happy birthday, everybody.
Happy birthday! Happy birthday, happy birthday. Oh, we also have 2 more birthdays to shout out. Danny and Jenna. Happy birthday to y'all too, belated. So happy birthday, Danny and Jenna.
Yes, we love the birthdays. I'm so happy that you were here to make it for your birthday. So let's get into it. Can you just introduce yourself? What's your name? Where are you from? And tell us how you got into music.
Yeah, so my name is Nehemiah Heckler. I'm a rapper from Chicago. And I got into music because I wanted to inspire people to do whatever they set their mind to. And I figured that I could do that through music. I just love what it can do for people. So that's why I did it. That's why I got into it.
Okay. See, you kind of already answered my question. I was going to ask you about that. I know a lot of your music is really motivational, and I want to know like how you came to want to portray those messages in your music. So can you give us more details?
Yeah. I just believe in people, and I believe in people like going after their dreams. So any way I can help that, any way I can like inspire somebody to reach their own dream, that's what I want to do. I want my music to have a message. I want my music to help somebody that's going through a difficult time or a rough time really be able to get past that and go after their dream and just be the best version of themselves.
Got you. Okay. Well, I'm not gonna hold you back. I'm gonna let you inspire the people with your music. So let's have you start out with Beautiful Feeling. Okay. And also he's rapping a cappella, y'all. So y'all gotta hear the bars.
For sure on this first one, yeah. Didn't want to sell out to sell out. Whole team catching W's, you can go and check the profile. Realize my destiny, go child. I win the race by a whole mile. No one's a match for my community, we got the most fire. Most necessary, sitting by the record player. Don't sleep, you can have it now, but may not have it later. I hope you enjoyed the come up. They must have retired my jersey because no one's got my number. Coming to get back everything that was taken from us. You can't stop a vibe. You can't take away a feeling that you feel inside. I'm lucky just to be alive. I don't need a blue check. I already know I'm verified. 4 letters to describe my feeling at the moment. Humility, a powerful tool. I know I'm goated. Every track, my train of thought is tunnel vision, yet I'm very focused. You walk a different way than everyone when you know you're chosen.
Period. Okay. I like them. All right. And get into your other one, Hold It All Together. Let's go.
Yeah, so this one's a little different. This one's like my story. So this one's more just about kind of my story and what I've done, and even when you go through a difficult time, to hold it all together. So I don't make songs for critics or your analytics. I make memories that last forever. My story's far from finished. If God is for us, then who can be against us? The world's my playground. I swing for the fences. I remember wanting to commit suicide on top of a hill. I question if God was really real. Go back and forth in my life, wanting to sign a deal. I know that there's an enemy out there wanting to steal. I want you to know you're needed. Not everyone knows how you're feeling in secret. Looks good on the outside, inside's depleted. If you tell your story, I'll be sure to read it. High standards for yourself when you try to reach it. His mercies are new every morning, that's what's important. They never been in your shoes, they ain't rocking Jordans. Everyone around you is concerned about performance, but please know the hard work never goes unnoticed. And when you're scared, letting go, and you're losing control, hold it all together, you hold it all together. And when you're feeling alone, like you don't know where to go, hold it all together, you hold it all together. 2020, one of the hardest years for you and me. Battle with the fact my family might be losing me. 4 jobs to make ends meet, and that's new to me. I'm still learning the importance of community. Even in your losing, it can still feel that you're winning. No matter how high or low I get, I never lose commitment. Stop trying to please everyone, they may never get it. They want to charge a fortune, but never give you credit. There, I said it. I wonder on why they capping. Follow performance when you stand up acting. Don't need anyone's opinion when you find your passion. It's a muted culture, turn on captions. God's got me, I'm relaxing. Test of Life produces a testimony for whoever's asking. Success for me won't be defined by going platinum. How I take care of people around me is how they'll know about it. For movement. Thank you, guys.
Yes, I love that. You see them going off in the chat. Okay. Thank you so much for inspiring us today. Yeah, so let's move into it. Our next performer is Tessellated. Tessellated, are you here?
Yo, what's up? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Having a great morning. You know the vibes.
Yeah, you're in LA, right?
I am in LA right now.
Yeah, so it's early for us.
Yeah, it's pretty early for us. Like, it's not that bad right now.
Right.
But yeah, and I'm originally from Jamaica.
Mm-hmm.
For anybody who doesn't know. And yeah, have a little performance for you guys. Couple songs that I actually had recorded a little while back with my band and whatnot. So yeah.
Okay. Before we get into your performance, can you tell us a little bit how you got into music?
So I've been into music from an early age. I was an instrument. I started with drums, played guitar, steel pan, a whole heap of different instruments. But I was really just a player when I was younger. And in my teenage years, I fell in love with production. And I really just, took the production and started building up on it, and eventually reached a point where I realized I wanted to, record myself, because I was recording other people. I was like, I want to start recording myself. And it's been a journey from there.
Okay, I like that. So can you tell us a little bit about the creation of your music video for the song Sweeter? I love that song.
Oh, bless. Yeah, that video is my favorite video to date, and probably the most ambitious, I really wanted to go with a narrative concept, because I'm a big fan of, film and cinema. I want to capture that energy in a short format, and to add a little bit more depth to the song, so that when people are now listening back to the song, they're seeing this whole storyline rather than just, the face value. So that video, we actually, rented out this bar, and we completely, set designed it from the inside to almost look like an old Western type of vibes. And we got, costumes made, and, I had the dance routines and everything. And in the video, actually, we had to black out everything, because we're shooting in the daytime, but we wanted to make it look like night, so it could have the perfect lighting and whatnot. And yeah, it was a really great experience to shoot, something I'm hoping to continue forward with in the future. So if anybody wants to check out that video, so you can understand what I'm talking about, that's out on YouTube right now, Sweeter with me and Protege.
Yes, you guys should definitely check it out. But before y'all do that, we're going to get into your performance. So Jordan, can you pull that up for us real quick?
Of course.
All right.
All right, we have 2 songs by Tessellated. Here we go.
Broke off your waist when she whine like monster. Feeling the vibe at the time, no long talk. Lock off the phone when she call, no. Ring off her line, she no mind, no answer. Broke off your waist when she whine like monster. Feeling the vibe at the time, no long talk. Lock off the phone when she call, no. Ring off her line, she no mind, no answer.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system.
Hey. Rock off the waist when she whine like monster. Feeling the vibe at the time, no long talk. Lock off the phone when she call, no. Ring off the line, she no mind, no. Rock off the waist when she whine like monster. Feeling the vibe at the time, no long talk. Lock off the phone when you ring off the line, she no mind, no answer. No answer. No, no, no answer. No answer. Hey, ring bunny. Make she sing when she fling all the ting funny. Appleton we a sip and a gin tonic. So put your hip on it, now switch gear, girl, zip tronic. With the windows tinted, won't let you in that sentence. Make her burn like incense. Invent the vibes, make her turn it to intent. When since you play, me no in that song. Broke off her waist when she whine like monster. Feeling the vibe at the time, no long talk. Like off the phone when you call, no answer. Half the line, she not mind, no. Broke off her waist when she whine like monster. Feeling the vibe at the time, no long talk. Like off the phone when you call, no. Bring off the line, she not mind, no answer. No, no, no answer. Hey, no answer. Crayon on it, alright. Network, I dey think loud, but trumpet, you always medicinal. Ada bembe, come on to me. Girl, you wine slow for me. I could give you more. Rock off the waist when you wine like monster. Feeling the vibe at the time, no long time. Lock off the phone when you call, no answer. Off the line, she no mind, no. Rock off the waist when she whine like monster. All the vibe, she no mind, no answer. No answer. No, no, no answer. No answer. No, no, no answer. No answer. Answer. Alright, so before this next song, I really quickly want to introduce myself, Tessellated, and also, just as importantly, the band. These are the Champoozers, and it's because of them that you're hearing this beautiful music in front of you today. So I'm going to give a quick introduction going across the stage. Right over here, so we have O'Keel, you don't know, the old school boss, on the trumpet. We have Circa Fat Man, you don't know, the DJ, running the tracks like a boss. We have Phil, holding it down on the bass. Right here, so holding down the rhythm, we have Falcon, you don't know, the girl them bird. We have Mundo Dan, modest guitarist out of JA, and right here, so we have a Weekday on the keys, just so you know. So let's get into the next track. My name, get it started now. Something really quite correct. Fine time for switch your wine super dynamic. Yo, she make me want to give it all of my money, my money. God So when she put it on, oh my, we a careful like a phone. But anytime she gone, what she gone, oh my, man I call now, hey, cause everything's sweeter. The little mamacita, coming like a teaser. I could I never leave her, no, cause everything's sweeter. The little mamacita, coming like a teaser. But I could I never, would I never. Hey, wait, time your waist, you coulda wind your waist, and me don't find your place, they are right side of me. You seem kinda facey, you see that no face me. No, but it look like a blazing, fresh off the plane, deliver right away. It seem like today, you can say finally, have your lucky in away, calling sick today. Herb just a sneak up and you still a, hey, sweeter, the little mamacita, something like a teaser. I coulda never leave her, no, cause everything sweeter. The little mamacita, coming like a teaser. But I coulda never, woulda never.
Okay, new rules. So if y'all love that, y'all gotta clap your hands, do a little woo woo or something, because that's in the chat running it up. Okay, thank you so much, Tessellated. We loved it, obviously. I wanted to just throw it to the panelists real quick to see what y'all thought. Do you guys have any feedback for him?
Keep going.
I thought it was dope. It made me want to dance, go back to summer.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you.
I love that for you guys. Okay, so thank you again, Tesla. Thank you guys for your responses. And now we're gonna move on into Nana. Nana, are you in the building? The virtual building, you know.
I'm here. Hi.
How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good. So before we get into your performance, can you just introduce yourself real quick, where you from and how you got into music?
Yes, so how you guys doing? My name is Nana. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. I'm a singer and songwriter. How I got into music was music actually runs through my family. I grew up singing in bands with musicians with my mom. My mom also sings too. So music is just something that's just in my blood. I eat, sleep, and breathe music. So it's a part of me. I'm like, without music, I'm lost. So I'm always writing. I'm always singing. I'm always performing. Yeah, I'm just a musical being, pretty much.
Okay. All right, well, I'm not gonna hold you up. I'm gonna let you get right into your performance. So go ahead, girl.
Okay, well, the first song that I'm gonna sing, I actually just released this song. Today it actually just hit 12K views on YouTube organically. So I'm actually excited about that. Hopefully it can reach some more. And I hope you guys like it. I've been through the worst, I've been through the worst. You gon' make me curse, you gon' make me curse. Saw you out with her, saw you out with her. Yeah, you hurt my nerves, yeah, you hurt my nerves. I was in the car at the restaurant. She was sitting down, she was on your arm. Told you come outside, yeah girl, come outside. Say we gon' fight tonight, we gon' fight tonight. Tell me what you want. I said tell me what you need. I said tell me if it ain't good enough for you, babe. It ain't good enough, it ain't good enough. Tell me what you want. Tell me what you need. Tell me if it ain't good enough for you, babe. It ain't good enough, it ain't good enough. I've been through the worst, I've been through the worst. You gon' make me curse, you gon' make me curse. Slide in your phone, slide in your phone. Yeah, you did me wrong, yeah, you did me wrong. What the hell is this in your messenger? Are you playing games, are you loving girl? Say I'ma go to jail, I'ma go to jail. Say wasted all them years, hope you burn in hell. Tell me what you want, tell me what you need. I say tell me if it ain't good enough for you, babe. It ain't good enough, it ain't good enough. Tell me what you want, I say tell me what you need. Say tell me if it ain't good enough for you, baby. Yeah. I said tell me you ain't gotta lie. I see the bull all through your eyes. See it all through your eyes, trying to play me, but I'm in disguise. You ain't gotta lie. You ain't gotta lie. Just tell me. I said, tell me. Tell me, tell me, tell me. I said, tell me, tell me, tell me. Tell me, tell me. Tell me what you want. Tell me what you need. I said, tell me if it ain't good enough for you, baby. I said, tell me what you want. Tell me what you need. I said, tell me if it ain't good enough for you, baby. I said, tell me.
Hey, y'all gotta clap. Okay, unmute yourselves and clap it up.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. What is y'all?
Oh
my God.
Fire.
Like,
Fire.
no, all right, go ahead into your next one.
Thank you. This next song is called "Stay Your Heart." This is actually one of my favorite songs that I wrote. I just think it's so clever, and I hope you guys like it. You guys can clap along if you want to. Come on, clap your hands. Whoa, so cute, let me drive you around. Whoa, can you love me to the point there's sounds? Yeah. Whoa, what's your name? Did you come from this town? Whoa, are you faithful? Can I trust you now? Cause tonight I'm gonna get my mask, get my gun, all black. I'm on the run, right away. You can call me, cause tonight I'm gonna oh, stay out, stay out, stay out, whoa, stay out, stay out, stay out, whoa, stay out, stay out, stay out, whoa, stay out, stay out, stay out. I'm counting 1, 2, 3, I'ma steal your heart. I said, come on to me, come on to me. 1, 2, 3, I'ma steal your heart. I said, come on to me, come on to me, yeah. Are you nervous? Can I feel your heart? Whoa, you got a girl, I'ma take it apart. Whoa, say what you said, are you holding it down? Whoa, say are you faithful, can I trust you now? Cause I'm gonna get my mess, get my gun, all black. I'm on the run, the robbery. You can call me, cause I'm gonna, tonight I'm gonna, oh, get my mess, get my gun, all black. I'm on the run, say robbery. You can call me, cause tonight I'm gonna, oh, stay high, stay high, stay high. whoa, stay high, stay high, whoa, stay high, stay high, whoa, stay high, stay high. I'm counting 1, 2, 3, I'ma stay high. I said, come on to me, come on to me. 1, 2, 3, I'ma stay high. I said, come on to me, come on to me. Yeah, stay high, 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 stay high. I said higher, still high. I stay high, I stay high, whoa, stay high, stay high, I stay high, whoa, stay high, I stay high, I stay high, whoa, stay high, I stay high, I stay high. I'm counting 1, 2, 3, I'm still high. I said, come on to me, come on to me. 1, 2, 3, I'm still high. I said, come on to me, come on to me. Yeah. Thank you.
Woo! Period. Okay, you was blowing for us, huh? I love that. Thank you so much for performing for us.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, of course. What do my panelists think? Any feedback from y'all?
You have an incredible voice and you're so beautiful.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, really amazing.
Thank you.
All right, let's move on into the next performer. Victor Collins, where are you? Can you unmute yourself? Victor, hey. Oh, you gotta unmute yourself. We can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hi
Hey,
guys.
how
How
are
you
you?
guys? Fine, thank you. How are you?
Good. So before we get into the performance, can you just introduce yourself? What's your name? Where you from?
I'm Victor Collins. I'm from Enugu, Nigeria. I'm 27. A writer, song, a singer, an audio engineer.
Okay, thank you. So Jordan, let's pull up his performance so he can jazz with us.
Here we go. And just starting.
She say, all girls are fragile. Sometimes we talk peace guys off. You can be a man apart. Ball in your court, don't play my heart's like a ball. Don't be like them orthodox donkeys and tell your OGs. Your OGs. Yeah, this love is beautiful. It's magic. Yeah, this love is beautiful. Had I known, yeah, this love is beautiful. It's magic, yeah, this love is beautiful. Had I known, yeah. Steady young hearts, steady young hearts, steady young hearts, yeah, yeah. Steady young hearts, steady young hearts, steady young hearts, yeah, yeah. Steady young hearts, steady young hearts, steady young hearts, yeah, yeah. Steady young hearts, steady young hearts, steady young hearts, yeah, yeah. You at Liverpool. I can do this all my life. Pure soul, what a being you are. Your heart is divine. Yeah, this love is beautiful. It's magic, yeah, this love is beautiful. I don't know, yeah, this love is beautiful. It's magic, yeah, this love is beautiful. I don't know, yeah. Steady young hearts, steady young hearts, steady young hearts, yeah, yeah. Steady young hearts, steady young hearts, steady young hearts, yeah, yeah. Steady young hearts, steady young hearts, steady young hearts, yeah, yeah. Steady young hearts, steady young hearts, steady young hearts, yeah, yeah.
Timmy, drop that.
Kick. Sweet like honey. My baby, damn, she too fine. She's not your type. Spend my 1 million. She knows I no get. She's your fire. Just to come and go, yeah, yeah. My girl's the same. Too short for my lady. Too short, despite all the things, yeah, yeah. Her friends to say. Too short for my lady. Too short.
Woo!
Woo!
Oh my God. We're popping up. What did you guys think?
I've been on an Afrobeats wave, so I really enjoyed it.
Okay.
What was that? What was the last song title? Because I was like, that was good.
It's called Desire.
Okay. What did you think, Sunjay?
Loved it, man. I think the UK would really, really like that, 100%. Yeah.
Okay, we
Thanks,
like
everyone.
that. Thank you guys for the feedback. Thank you, Victor, for your performance. It was great.
Thank
And
you.
so we're gonna move on. Holocene, where you at, love?
Hey, you right?
Hi.
Hey, how you
How are
doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm really cold. I'm never usually this still. I'm in London, so it's so cold here. Trying to warm up my fingers so I can play.
No, you're good. I get that totally. Before we get into your performance, can you just introduce yourself? What's your name and where you from?
Well, my artist name is Holocene. That's not my birth name. My parents do care about me. My actual name is Sean. Yeah, I got into music really young. I guess I was always listening to music with my parents when I was younger, and they have this amazing record player, and they had all the classic vinyls, and I used to listen to them. And then I got noticed at my school, and I said I'm really interested in this type of music, and I couldn't describe it, and then it turned out to be jazz. And then I ended up having many years of jazz classes and jazz training. And then I grew up with two older brothers who love grunge, and I've just always been obsessed with grunge rock. And yeah, I was very lucky when I was 14, and my head of music, he got a music manager in, and I've been managed by him ever since, and that's how I actually came to you guys today. But I came into music because I was a little girl with a really low voice, and so I think that got his attention a little bit. Yeah, so.
Thank you for that.
I want to celebrate the lower resonances of the female voice, is what we like to say.
Yeah, I respect that. So let's get into it. Your first song, we have Wall Paint, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and so I wrote this one. I wrote this one when I was about 14, I think. yeah, it's just a little slice of my EP, which is going to be coming out in February, called Kiss Me in the Dark. But yeah, this song's called Wall Paint. Should I just fade into this wall paint? Should should I just fade into the wall? There's something in the way that people exchange that I can't seem to do. It suffocates my brain how people fit this chain, and I'm the kink in this loop. Should I just fade into this wall paint that go with auburn hair? You seem to stare. Should I just stand here by this wall? There's a cotton knot inside my stomach, teeth, and eyes, but a guiding light has seen me through. I can't resist the strain of your unfamiliar fame, but at the end of the day, I'll still choose you. Should I just fade into this wall paint? Mirrored side by side, your eyes unite while I watch it by this wall. Should I just fade into this wall paint? Should I just fade into the wall? Can't you see me by this wall? I've been waiting for your call. I left your things out in the hall. I can't believe you let her see all the walls. Should I? Thank you.
Okay. Woo! Yes, I love that. Oh my gosh, that was so great. I'm gonna let you go into your next song.
Yes. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Fossils. Thank you. Sorry, I spoke over you there. Forever a chatterbox. Yeah. So this next song I released a few weeks ago, and it was actually my first original single release. And yeah, I actually released a song yesterday, but it has the F word just strewn across it, and I didn't know if I could be swearing here, so I thought best not. So yeah, this one's called Fossils. Looking at you is like trying to find a pearl in a deep ravine. To look for a clue who you are divides me and defies me. You do. You're twisted and you lie. Just look me in the eye, 'cause these notes of blues won't hang from my lips no more. Like ice on a fire, this burning desire is mine, melting tears on each cheek. To ask of you when, where, how, or who would bite me and unlike me. You could. You're twisted and you lie. Just look me in the eye, 'cause these notes of blues won't hang from my lips no more. I hate that you won't love me, and you know it's true. I hate the things you don't say, and I love the ones you do. Don't blank me down, just speak, please. You're no longer in your prime. Soon the memory of me will be lost. Fossils of time. Looking in you is like trying to find a pulse in a vein. Ask for the time to rewind our time. Would bite me and in spite of me, you could. You're twisted and you lie. Just look me in the eye. 'Cause these notes of blues won't hang from my lips no more. I hate that you won't love me, and you know it's true. I hate the things you don't say, and I love the ones you do. Don't break me down, just please. You're no longer in your prime. Soon the memory of me will be lost in the fossils of time. In the fossils of time. In the fossils of our time. In the fossils of time. In the fossils of time. That's it.
Woo! Yeah.
Oh my God. That just sparked something in me. I
So
don't know
good.
what it was, but it definitely did. Where do you guys want to give some feedback, my panelists? What did y'all think?
It's giving me
More.
goosebumps. Like your voice is incredible. It's giving me crazy.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
I love your voice. I'm excited to hear your new EP coming out.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you for having me, guys. I really appreciate it.
Of course. Thank you so much. I love that. And I think everybody else did too.
Oh, thank you. And I think everyone here has been amazing so far, and everyone's come as well. It's been an honor to be part of the lineup.
Yes, thank you again. And we have two more performers. So next up we have Elsie. Elsie, where you at?
Hey,
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. I've got a blanket, also chilly. So, so
I get
also warming up the fingers. But oh my God, everyone has been, I'm just obsessed. I'm sitting over here like dancing in my blanket. So,
Yes.
so glad to be here.
Yes, thank you. So before we get into it, just introduce yourself, your name, and where you're from.
Yeah. So again, my name is Elsie, my artist name, but my real name is Lily, and I'm a singer, songwriter, producer. I am currently in the LA area, and yeah, I guess I know the questions now, so I can get into how I started. So yeah, again, I, like many others, really got into music pretty early, but I didn't start writing until probably teenage years. And for a long time, I also just like hid the fact that I made music from everybody, my parents, like all of that. But it was always something that just like really felt like home for me. And then, did the whole college, grad school, worked actually. I think I kind of just like inched my way into music. I actually worked on the business side of the industry. And then a few years ago, I was like, that's it. I have to give it a shot. And so I left my job, went to Sweden, and started making music with some friends there, and then put out this song that I'm going to play acoustically, but put out like the full single 2 years ago at this point. So yeah, and then since then, just learned production, put out an album earlier this year, and yeah, still going.
Okay, I love your story. So that's cool. Let's get into your performance. You're starting off with Shadow, right?
I am.
All right, let's get into it.
Okay. 2 years with no sleep. Guess I've been living the dream. I'm sinking, I've hit the bottom. Searching for something, cast aside the feeling, lurking out from behind. I got this energy, I feel it haunting me. I know it's following, and now I've realized I'm a shadow who I used to be. I'm blending into me, never been so hollow, feeling incomplete, like I could see through me, but it's making me stronger than yesterday. I'm embracing the other me. I cannot run from reality, 'cause the shadow is me. Two worlds within me, I don't know who to believe. I'm fading into the mirror, and even though it hurts, it's still a part of me, the ghost that never leaves. I guess I've gotta learn to live with my disease. My God, help me please, 'cause I need this energy, and it's always haunting me. I see it following, and now I've realized I'm a shadow who I used to be. I'm blending into me, never been so hollow, feeling incomplete, like I could see through me, but it's making me stronger than yesterday. I'm embracing the other me. I cannot run from reality, 'cause the shadow is me. And even though it hurts, it's still a part of me. I guess I've gotta learn to live with my disease. I'm a shadow of who I used to be. Hollow, feeling incomplete, but I'm finally stronger than yesterday. I'm embracing the other me. I cannot run from reality, 'cause the shadow is me.
Woo! Love that. Oh my gosh, period. Oh my God.
Thank you.
Woo, 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 woo.
So yeah, that was Shadow, and you can check it out on. Actually, I put out a dance remix also a few weeks ago of the song, so can check that out as well. And my next song actually. So I've been on a lot of these finessed call or like performances, and so I wanted to play something unreleased because I feel like I keep playing the same songs over and over again. So this is something that is probably quite far from being released. I'm like actually still working on it. So this is like half of the song, but it's like a full song, kind of a concept. I think it just needs another verse, but I figured that I would play it for you guys and see what you think. So this one, the working title is called, it's called Finally Okay. So here we go. This is a first time. It's been a long time coming around all the things I hate. I spent a long time running away from myself, but I hope you don't believe the things that people say. Oh, I hope you won't just leave me now and look the other way. 'Cause the truth is that I'm vulnerable in oh so many ways. Check my bruises, oh I'm liable for every word I say. And I say a lot of dumb shit, trying but I can't quit. Is there any other way? But the truth is that I'm vulnerable, and I'm finally okay. I'm finally okay. I'm finally okay.
I love that. Oh my gosh, that is so good. Thank you so much. Sunjay and Franca, do you guys have any feedback?
That was great. I love that he put like vulnerability in these songs.
Yeah, thank you.
You need to release that track.
I need to finish it first, and then it's definitely coming out. But yeah, I feel like especially in the last couple of years since I'm doing this, it's like vulnerability is such a big thing, and it's really hard, but it also like I feel so much more at ease like as a human kind of doing this and living my truth compared to kind of pretending to be someone else and not being real. So that's like a big thing for this song, and hopefully can come up with some things that will help kind of spread that message.
Thank you so much for that and being vulnerable with us. That's so great. And just thank you for performing. And before we get into our next one, I just wanted to recognize that we are running a little over. So if you guys could stay, Franca and Sunjay, we would love that. We just have one more performer. But yeah, so let's get into it. Thomas, where are you?
Oh.
Hi.
Hi. I'm so cold. I'm so cold.
Everybody's cold today.
I was just sitting here the whole time, just like, can I go next? Can I go? Like, I'm freezing.
I love that. Well, you're going now. So before you start, just introduce yourself. Tell us what your name is, where you're from, and how you got into music.
Okay, so my name is Thomas Allen Thomas. I was born in the UK, but then I moved to Hong Kong. I grew up in Hong Kong and now I'm in Boston studying music. I got into music. I was a dancer growing up, like hip hop, popping, I was like studying in Japan and stuff, dancing. And then I became a simp and I really liked this girl. So I learned how to play the guitar, and then you kind of know one thing led to another, didn't work out, but I still ended up doing music. But yeah. So
not a simp. I'm sorry, that was so funny. But all right, let's get into it then.
Okay, so the first song I'm performing is called Flaws. I just released it, and yeah, it's simp music, so. Okay. Sorry, I'm making too many jokes, I can't focus. Okay. If I showed you my flaws, would you run away or would you stay? And if I showed you my scars, I have a chance at romance. I know you said that you'd stick around, but I know you're right. Let's go slow, 'cause I am still having doubts, 'cause
I failed many tries. I'm so nervous. Is she really gonna stay? I'm too scared to think that right now. Will you tell her everything? At some point it all just comes out. Is it gonna be okay? I don't really know, so I'm asking. Oh, I'm asking. Yeah. If I showed you my flaws, would you run away? Or would you stay? And if I showed you my scars, I have a chance of romance with you. Da 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 da, da 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 da, da 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 da. Wanna tell you my secrets, hoping you'll keep them to yourself. I know you're something different. You make me feel things I've never felt. Yeah. Is she really gonna stay? I'm too scared to think that right now. Will you tell her everything? At some point it all just comes out. Is it gonna be okay? I don't really know, so I'm asking. Oh, I'm asking, yeah. And if I showed you my flaws, would you run away? Or would you stay? And if I showed you my scars, I have a chance of romance with you. Da 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 da, da 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 da, da 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 da. With you. Da da da, no, with you. Da 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 da, da 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 da. I'm so nervous, I'm sorry.
Oh my God, you did so good. Why are you nervous?
I don't know, I'm rushing. Okay.
No, that was so good. It just hit a part of my soul. Okay. I'm not even gonna lie to you. But thank you. Oh my God. Can you get into our next one for us? Don't be nervous. You was killing it.
Okay, so this is a song that I'm finishing off and hoping to release soon. I'm changing my song choice. I'm doing a song called King. And this is an unreleased song. So yeah, okay, let's have fun.
Used to think you're a king, someone that built up kingdoms for me, a one of a kind, somebody no one else can be. I used to fantasize, but they were lies made up by me, and now I realized who you turned out to be. Yeah. I wasted years, so what a shame. I was looking forward to you. I guess I'm to blame, yeah. You call me overly emotional and lacking in my confidence. Make me feel like I'm an overall incompetent human. Yes, I'm a big man now. Don't expect the world to help you out, but you don't understand. I get that now. Why don't you try to show me how? Do what you say and please just shut your mouth. Let's go. As the kingdom falls and your built-up walls come crashing down on me, I can see the lights through your big disguise of the king you wanted to be. Wanna believe that there's a chance that you would be the person I wanted you to be, but now I realize who you turned out to be. I wasted it, so what a shame. Yeah. I was looking forward to you. I guess I'm to blame, yeah. You call me overly emotional and lacking in my confidence. Make me feel like I'm an overall incompetent human. Yes, I'm a big man now. Don't expect the world to help you out, but you don't understand. I get that now. Why don't you try to show me how? Do what you say and please just shut your mouth. Yeah. pretend that you understand. I want to be and who I truly am. Please don't pretend that you understand. I want to be and who I truly am. So yeah, that's it.
Woo! Woo!
Hey!
Yes, that was so, Jordan, you put me on. I'm not even gonna lie to you, because where has he come from? Like, oh my God.
I'm on TikTok.
Yes, I love it. Thank you so much for coming. Sunjay and Franca, what did you guys think?
I love that second track. And so I put in the chat like Sunday vibes. I'm like, yes, I just want to like listen to this while I'm sipping my coffee outside.
What about you, Sunjay?
That's sick, man. I love the first one actually as well. I think it's incredible, bro. Just keep going, man. It's amazing.
Thanks,
Yes.
guys.
Oh my God. Thank you so much for performing for us. That was great. All the performers did great. So if you loved it, can we just get another woo woo? Okay. Ready? Woo woo! Yes. The lineup for the panelists. Yes, this was such a great event. But that wraps it up for me. So I'm gonna throw it to Jordan so she can have some announcements for us.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that was so amazing. All of our artists and the panelists. I had a great time. I know everyone else had a great time too, right? Yeah. So I want to thank Sunjay and Franca once more for being here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We really enjoyed you. And all of our artists. You can find all of their social media links in our contact sheet that Abby has been putting in the chat frequently. And if you like what we do here, please come back to our Saturday events. We have free events every Saturday, except for next week. We're having a bye week. Yeah. Sorry, football language, but we're not going to have an event next week. But the next week we will. Yeah, so that about wraps up. But also, if you're an artist and interested in artist development, please check out our Finesse VIP platform. And stay up to date with us. So I'll pass it over to Kit Kat and Alexi to end us.
Hi everyone, my name is Kit Kat. I'm the general manager here at Finesse Media. And first and foremost, I want to give a big shout out to Jordan and Tammy for also hosting such an awesome event. If you enjoyed it, unmute yourselves one last time and give us a whoop whoop for how well they handled this. All right. And also a big thank you to Sunjay and Franca for joining us on today's panel and all the incredible artists. Thank you all so much for being here. Like Jordan was saying, we're going to take next weekend off to fully celebrate Thanksgiving and all that we are grateful for. So we would love to see you tuned in the following week. And with that, thank you all so much for coming in, and we'll see you all very soon. Bye, everyone.
Happy Thanksgiving. Bye, everyone.
Bye.